What questions do you have for him?
Myron, what do you think we did well today, man?
Man, we just brought that competitive spirit that Coach preaches all the time. We just ready to play. We just went to war today, man.
What do you want to know about Jaime's game?
How you get to that downhill so efficiently and effectively?
I think they put a slant. The floor is a little slanted. At every halftime, they slant it a little bit, so it goes downhill.
You hear?
All right, now I've got one question for you. In a game where you guys score 147 points, you set a career high with 11 assists. So for you, how were you able to distribute so effectively to so many of your teammates on a night like tonight?
I mean, my teammates made shots. I mean, I try to find them in their spots. Guys were making them. And it's just, I couldn't do it without my teammates. So just shout out to them for moving, constantly cutting, and getting open.
That's the type of energy we're looking for. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Obviously, it seems you typically get up to go against Joker, just for the meaning of playing against him. Is there a little more edge to your game when you go up against him, and sort of what was it like out there tonight?
I mean, it is good to go up against him. He's the best player in the world right now. I'm best player ever coming from Serbia, so he means something to me. We look up to him, and I mean, us people from Serbia, and especially basketball players. So I wanna kind of play good against him, and that way kind of show the respect to him.
Last time you had a sort of a breakout game against Portland, we were expecting another one, and there wasn't. How important was it for you to back up last game with another solid game?
I mean, I'm not expecting myself to go out and score 20 every night. I'm a plug guy now. I come with a bench trying to help this team win, and that's what I'm trying to do. Ball is coming to me. The energies. He's finding me, and I'm getting open shots. So it's on me to make him, and that's about it.
You said the first few months of the season that you thought it would come around for you eventually. How good does this 3-game stretch feel for you? I know it's only 3 games, but how does it feel for you after what kind of what you went through the last few months?
I mean, I feel good. I feel the same way I felt 2 weeks ago when they play. I know I can play. I never questioned that. It's on me to show up every day and show that I'm worth it. You know how it is with the Heat. You gotta show them every night that you can play, because if you mess up 2 nights in a row, you're probably not gonna go back into the game. So, yeah, well, it's on me from now on to show these people that I should be continuing to play, and that's about it.
You've played a few minutes at center here the last few games. I know it's something you didn't always enjoy, but the minutes have been pretty good. What do you think is working with those lineups?
I mean, I think just the way we play now. We run the floor a lot, and I don't think there's a single center in the league that can kind of catch up with me when it's when we talk about transition. So it for sure helps our team, and we move the ball good, and that's about it. It's easy to play the 5 when I'm not really playing the 5. I maybe set the screen now and then, but I do the stuff I usually do. So yeah.
Was there kind of a mental reset for yourself after the injury?
For sure is, I'll give credit to my family, who came here too, and kind of helped me get back on track. When you have people who love you, around you, it for sure helps. But for me, it was to stop looking at basketball as a hobby and something that I love, and look at it more as a job, as a profession, because that's who I am now. So I come in every day with a different approach now, and I guess it has to stay that way.
How's the feel of the shooting sleeve over these games?
It feels good. Do I look good?
Looks good.
Thank you. I'll keep wearing it then.
You said you guys are just running, but what do you think about the chemistry of that second unit? It seems there are 3 games in a row where you guys are kind of running away with minutes in that unit.
Yeah, I mean, we just play simple, in that second unit, other than Jaime right now, who's averaging a lot of points, nobody's really a scorer, so we kind of pass a lot, which usually doesn't happen in the NBA, and that gets us open shots, and then I guess we just hope we make them.
Norman, it almost seems like this is a classic case of a team lost its mojo and then found its mojo again. So can you explain how you guys found your mojo again?
I mean, it's just the highs and lows, It's a long season. It's 82 games. I've been in this 11 years, Every team I've been on goes through it, where you just you're battling, you're fighting, you have some injuries, you're trying to figure it out. In some close battles, but, they don't go your way. it's part of the season, but I love this team in the way we have our mentality tied together and trying to figure it out, going through the tough times together, talking, communicating, just trying to get back on the right court and get these wins. And I think we figured it out, and just the play style and the mentality and approach that we have to have on a nightly basis. We can't get bored with the process and going out there and competing every single night.
Spo was just in here saying that the slower you guys play, the more average you guys become. How much has pace continued to be an emphasis as you guys have looked to get back on track, and how much of that is a must kind of moving forward? I
think it's been a huge emphasis just since training camp, and obviously when you're down a couple bodies, it's kind of hard to keep that pace up. But that's the style that we want to continue to play with. I think it rises everybody's skill set and potential with this offense and how we want to play every single night. Makes misses, getting down transition, hunting for easy look, quick attacks when the defense isn't set up. It complements everybody's skill set, and I think you can see that when we do reach those numbers, and we are getting stops, we are flying around, we are being active, we are holding each other accountable on both sides of the ball, and making sure we're getting the best looks possible, making sure that we're the most physical team on the defensive end, and it showed tonight, and we just got to continue to work through those lulls in the game as it goes through its ebbs and flows, its runs. We know we're playing against the best basketball players in the world, so the opposing team's going to go on runs. But as long as we continue to hold on to the rope and fight together, we're going to give ourselves the best opportunity to win.
Obviously the starters played well, but the bench, especially with Jaime and Nico, and even when Bella was there and Drew, can you kind of talk about the impact that they've had?
Huge, those guys coming in and providing that spark. I've been in that position before. And I've always talked to them about reading the game and seeing how you can put your imprint on it and what the game needs. If the starters are coming out and playing really well, we have great energy and juice. Come in and see how you can keep that fire going. If we're coming out and we're a little sluggish or we're not getting to the things that we need to get to, how can you come in and provide that spark, and correct that, and then put the pressure on us to come back out there and make sure we keep up with what they're doing. And they've done a great job all year with providing that, reading the game, coming in and putting their imprint, not only offensively but defensively. And I think that's what's leading to them being able to put their imprint on the game on the offensive side of the ball. But hats off to them every single game. We don't know how many minutes they're going to get, what their shot profile is going to look like, but that intent to be tied in and flying around no matter what's going on the offensive end they've had, and it's been great for us.
To that point, you were just hyping up Nico in the locker room. How different do things look when he's playing at that level and being aggressive and confident playing that way?
We're a totally different team. When he's aggressive, when he's assertive on the offensive end and assertive on the defensive end as well. His versatility, I'm always on him like you're 6'10", you know what I'm saying? Play like you're 6'10". And when he does that and he doesn't hesitate, he's a totally different basketball player, and we need that from him. We need that aggressiveness because his skill set is so unique, being able to handle the ball, push the pace, get down into the paint, find guys, shoot the three. He's just so versatile, and even on the defensive end, his height, his length, being able to be disrupted. He's playing the 5 right now, and that's really big. It gives us another dynamic because he's a stretch 5. So now pick, pop, they close out. He can drive, he can shoot. It's really big for us. So we're a totally different team when he's locked in and aggressive.
Staying on Nico for a second, he was also just saying in the locker room that over the last couple of weeks, he kind of had a mental reset. And he was saying that he's looking at this not just as a job and not just as a hobby, but as a job. Have you noticed anything different in his approach to the work in general?
Yeah, he's more I don't want to say this in a bad way, but he's like more serious in terms of being locked in and what he needs to do, his job every single night, making sure that he's limiting his mistakes, and even if he does have mistakes, getting over it really quickly and not letting it linger, and not letting it compound into 2, 3, 4 mistakes. Like he made a mistake, adjust, and continue to attack the game. And I think he's done a great job since being back. I've always joked with him like, leave that other Nico in the past. Like pre-injury Nico, we don't want that. We want this Nico now. So I'm really glad that he's turned the corner. And it's a long season. There's going to be ebbs and flows, but you got a coaching staff, you got a team team that really believes in what he can bring to the table and the potential that he has as a player. But it's all on him. He has to put the work in. He has to be committed. He has to be locked in and focused. And when he does that, the sky's the limit for that kid.
And we're obviously Jaime career high in assists, 11 of them, and it's 30 some odd games, but he seems like sixth man of the year. People talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
Just what's your thoughts on that? And again, just the impact that he has.
Huge impact. What he's able to do, putting pressure on the rim, getting into the paint, collapsing defenses, taking on mismatches, getting in there, getting into his mid post, his jump hooks, his turnaround fades, but then also defensively, the big body battling bigger size guys than him, and putting his nose in there and putting his imprint on that way. He's definitely should be in the category for sixth man of the year. He's been doing a great job all year and putting his imprint on the game and helping us win close games or helping us open up some games with his play style and the force and his downhill attacks that he comes with every single night.
Bam, obviously coming back from a 2-game absence. First of all, how are you feeling physically, and how did it feel to be a part of a win kind of like this?
It feels good, man. Especially get a win like this at home to end the year off. Now we look into 2026.
Bam, Spo was in here saying that the slower you guys play, the more average you guys become. How much has pace going to continue to be an emphasis for you guys through that little rough patch, and how much of it is a must moving forward for this team?
I mean, proof is in the pudding. Obviously, when we play with pace, we play off rebounders, and we defend and get stops. We can score 147. As you can see, everybody feels involved because we're getting that many more many more possessions.
Bam, Nico in the locker room, I'm going to paraphrase for him, but he was basically just saying that he's kind of adjusted his mentality over the last couple of weeks, and he's approaching this more like a job, like a profession now. Have you noticed a difference in his approach lately?
Yeah. We have our patches where we're trying to figure it out, and, it just feels like it's not going well for us. Sometimes you have to change your point of view so you can get realigned. And he's realigned, obviously. He's playing well, and we want him to keep playing like that.
Obviously, the bench being an important factor today. Can you just kind of talk about what you've seen from Jaime? The 11 assists tonight, and obviously his name has come up in sixth man of the year conversations. I know it's 30-some-odd games in, but what's your thoughts on his impact and about him being sixth man?
Man, I think he can do it. I like the fact that Jaime is trying to play the right way. He's not trying to overdo it. He's getting to his spots, and we're living with those shots he's shooting.
Bam, you versus Joker, always a fun matchup. Can you just kind of take us of what your mentality was going into the game, and then how did you guys keep everybody on track once he goes down? It's obviously a big change in the game plan.
It's always fun playing against him. You see how he makes his teammates better. You see the greatness. But one thing I like about it, it's competition. At the end of the day, he's one of those guys that doesn't really flop, and I truly respect that because, well, I'm not gonna say flop, foul baiting. But it's respect at the end of the day, and then obviously you hate to see guys go out, but you gotta figure out how you keep your team, foot on the gas and keep trying to get this W.
Bam, to start the game, you on Jokić, that means Khalil's kind of uses that helper, something you guys done against New York and other teams. But let's talk about the difference in Khalil from the first defensive matchup with Denver compared to this one. I guess just what do you like about that defensive structure when you're able to kind of flip it a little bit where Khalil ends up being the guy that's helping down?
It's not even just that. Sometimes I can get a break and go guard somebody else in the corner, and we trade off and switch jobs from time to time. So, for me, it's better than being the lone big out there, and you got to do it all on your own. So, thankful for Khalil.
Bam, you spoke about how the break was so helpful the other day after the game. Did you feel refreshed and sort of back to yourself as compared to maybe some of the rough patch prior?
definitely felt like I, took a step in the right direction today. Felt good to be back out there. Felt good to see the basketball go in. Obviously, get back and being in those huddles and feeling like you're a part of it. So that was definitely great, and just like I said, man, to get a win to end the year is always great for us.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
Happy New Year. Oh.
His injury changes things in the second half, but what did you like about what you guys did in the second half on both ends of the court, and especially offensively, to set the record for the highest scoring second half in team history?
Yeah, it's there's going to be ebbs and flows during a season, but we're getting more consistent to the identity. Even the two losses before Toronto, it just felt more recognizable, and the more consistent we can get to that, the activity level defensively. Look, in the first half, I thought we did some great things with our activity level defensively, and they still put up 63 on us. That just shows you how historically good their offense is with Jokić, when he's out there. We're making multiple efforts. We're swarming him, on his catches. But, we're putting a lot of pressure on them, and the slower we play, I think the more average we become, regardless of whether teams scout us, and try to prepare for it. It's got to feel different, when you actually play against it. And it requires mental and physical energy and commitment every single night, which we're fully capable of. We got a deep roster. But it was good to see that energy. It always helps if you make shots, the 22 or 23 threes, whatever it was. But it's the process of it. It was recognizable. The last three games, really.
What can you just say about the impact the bench had? Obviously, Jaime and Nico, but even Drew and when Pella was there.
Yeah, it was a fantastic unit again that really created some separation in the second quarter, then pushed it to a 20-point lead in the end of the third and beginning of the fourth. And it's it's a dynamic lineup. It's a shame that Pella twisted his ankle. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. But that was a lineup that was really disruptive and fast. Going down the other end, and a lot of space. With Nico. So we definitely want to build on that.
You've kind of touched on it, but specifically in that end of the first quarter, the end of Jokic's first shift when you went small with Nico at center, what did you like specifically about what that lineup was able to do, especially?
It's a speed and activity, and then just naturally out there, there's connectors out there, so you can be aggressive and fast, but it doesn't feel like guys are taking turns or getting in the way of each other. They're more connecting, with each other, and sometimes you just learn about different lineups, as the season goes on, and then if you just need to slow down and get it settled, Wiggs is naturally that kind of position. You have some bigger wings, with Jaime and Wiggs, and this disruptiveness of Pella and Drew, on the perimeter that allows Nico to be able to play the five, where he might get overmatched if you don't have that kind of activity or length on the wings. Also, Jaime just continues to grow offensively. The 11 assists and 0 turnovers tonight was, probably the best reads he's made, while also scoring, but making the appropriate play over and over and not getting confused or bored with it.
Going back to the start of the game, Bam on Jokić, Kalel was kind of uses that helper again. I know you guys did against New York and some of those certain teams. Where's your confidence grown, I guess, with him in that specific defensive role?
It all depends on the matchup and, the nuance of it. It depends on who that other player is. But it allowed us to get him at the rim in this particular matchup. But then also when Bam got a foul, those were important minutes, when Kalel was able to guard Jokić. And and nobody does that well. I mean, come on, his stat line at halftime was a stat line for All-Stars, for a full game. And I thought we defended him well. I thought we were swarming him. I thought we were bringing a second defender. I thought we were surprising him. It just didn't matter. He was making, incredible shots. But Kalel's activity level was better. His discipline was better. If you just look at the first Denver game compared to this one, he was much more attuned to our system. And so you can see the growth in a matter of, months.
The 21 minutes for Bam, was that the plan, and did he look more like himself today?
Yeah, I would have played him more if I didn't have to. I mean, that's why I was trying to push that lead to 20 plus, so I didn't have to bring him back. He felt good after the game, and that was a big win for us. But the double big lineup, that's important. What they both did. Like, there will be some possessions where it doesn't look aesthetically great. That's okay. Like in a modern day, spacing and all of that. But what they did was 5 offensive rebounds for Kalel and 3 for Bam in those minutes. That's what it has to be. You have to beat up teams that, play a little bit smaller or trying to, spread you out, and you're losing. You can't lose all the different games. It's always about who can get the other team to blink. And I thought their physicality was really important, in their minutes together. All right. Thank you.